I want to start off by asking you a question. Is there ever a dream vacation or a dream destination that you've always wanted to go to? Let me ask you another question. Have you not gone to that vacation because of the excuse of time or money? Well, I'm here to tell you that you can. You can get to those places and all for a cheap budget that anyone can afford. Today I want to explain the why we should travel, the benefits, many benefits to traveling, and how we can travel for cheap. My husband and I, we have been married for a little less than 2 years, and we have been to 8 different countries. Not because we have a lot of money, not because we have a lot of time, but because we found little tips and tricks along the way to help us get to those places. And today I want to share those tips and tricks with you. Let's first talk about the benefits to traveling. There are numerous benefits to traveling. There are physical health benefits, mental benefits, family relationship benefits, marital benefits, a lot of great benefits to traveling. There was a study done by the Global Commissions on Aging in Transamerica Center for Retirement Studies in partnership with the U.S. Travel Association. In this study, they found that women who vacationed at least every 6 years or less had a significantly higher risk of developing a heart attack or a coronary death compared to the women who vacationed at least twice a year. And in that same study, men who did not take an annual vacation were shown to have a 20% higher risk of death and about a 30% higher risk from heart disease. Well, death from heart disease. So the bottom line, traveling reduces stress. It will, when you reduce stress, you increase your health. So in my personal experience, taking vacations has brought me a lot closer to my husband. We've been able to travel to places together and experience new things together. It has reduced stress in my life. And by so doing, I'm able to come back from a trip rejuvenated, ready to work hard at school, at my job, to work harder in my marriage as well as my personal relationships, and have found that my life has been a lot more enjoyable from being able to focus a little more on those things and not be run down. We all have stress, and traveling is a great way to reduce that stress. So it's also been shown that those who travel with their family actually enjoy their vacation more than those who are retired and travel by themselves. With that being said, those with younger kids, don't wait to travel. Now is the time to travel and enjoy these places and experiences with your kids. Now that we've talked about the benefits of traveling, let's talk about how we can actually budget for a trip. To budget for a trip, you first have to decide that you want to budget for the trip. If you don't make that decision, that money is going to be spent elsewhere. So you first have to make that decision that, yes, this is what we want to do and where we want to put this money towards. There are a few ways that you can budget for a trip. You can either pick the trip and then budget specifically for that trip, or you can have a general budget and just keep putting money in once a month, once a paycheck, and when a great deal comes along, the money is set aside there for you to be able to use. In your budget, you want to include your airfare. You want to include food that you'll be needing, your accommodations where you're going to stay. You're going to want to include your transportation when you get there, activities that you think that you're going to want to do, as well as any type of souvenirs that you think that you'll want to bring back. And I know it sounds like a lot of money. All of those things put together can really add up. But that's why now I want to talk to you about how we can save in each one of those areas to make your entire trip cheaper. So first I want to talk about different ways that you can get to your destinations for cheaper. So a lot of people will use credit cards for traveling. You can use miles cards, which is the most common, which you spend so much money on your card, you get so many miles, and you're able to turn those miles in to get free flights or to get a discounted flight. There is a hotel's points card where you spend so much, you get so many points, and you're able to use those points to get free hotel stays. And the last credit card is a cash rewards, just a general credit card. And you set aside whatever money you get from your rewards, you set aside and put specifically for traveling. So that way you're not having to budget into whatever money you're bringing home from your income. Instead, you're spending your money, you get this little extra money of rewards money from spending, and you set that aside for your vacation. Next, I want to talk about flights. There are a lot of different ways that you can find flights. Google Flights is a really big common one. You type in your destination, you type in the weeks that you want to go, and it will bring up a whole entire month for you to find which week is going to give you the best deal. There are also a lot of websites that give you great deals and show you great flights to take. Scott's Cheap Flight is a really big one. You sign up, you give them your email, you pick 3 airports that you want to fly out of, and they will send you deals from all over the world that fly out of those airports. This is the one that my husband and I use most commonly. For example, we were able to go to Paris, both of us, round trip for 1 week for $700 for the both of us. It's a phenomenal deal, and they're out there all day, every day. You just have to know where to find them. Another one that we like to use that is very common is called Travelzoo. That one is great. It gives you destinations that you can choose from that have great deals. That one's a good one because a lot of the times it's going to not only include your airfare round trip, but it will include your accommodation, so your hotels. It will include some activities sometimes. It will include transportation. It could include food. For example, we used Travelzoo when we went to Ireland, and that was $1,400 for the both of us round trip. And that sounds like a lot, but that was including our round trip airfare, our hotel stay, our car rental for an entire week. It included breakfast every single morning, as well as 2 activities, 2 castles that we were able to go visit. So that one's also a great deal. And there are a lot more out there that you're able to choose from. Now that we've talked about flights and on ways you could save to get to these places, then let's talk about your accommodations. There are a lot of ways that you're able to travel and places you can stay. The best one, obviously, is to stay with family or friends because that's going to be for free. The next best one, I think, is Airbnb. You can get a great deal, and it's going to be in a great place. The good thing about Airbnb is most of the time they want you to give them a good review, so they want to make sure you have a good experience. With that being said, they are very nice to give you referrals to local sites, local restaurants, the best way to get around that city while you're there visiting, and you can get a lot of really nice ideas and tips from them to help save money as well. If you are thinking about staying local, so more inside the United States, you could always look at camping, go cross-country camping. A really good one is actually KOA Campground. You can get an annual membership there and save money for every night that you stay there on either a campsite. You could take a trailer, or what's really nice is if you're not into camping, they actually have cabins that you're able to rent. And that's a really nice way. They have showers, everything, and that's a really nice way to save money instead of a hotel. Food. Food is a big one where a lot of people spend a lot of their money. A good way to help save money is to actually find a local grocery store Go buy food that you can eat for breakfast and that you can eat for lunch, as well as snacks that you can have throughout the day. It will save you a lot of money when you're only having to pay for one meal, which would then be your dinner. Another good way is to stay in a hotel where they have complimentary breakfast. That way you're not spending any money on breakfast. So a few good tips there to save some money on food. Transportation. We have found that it depends on where you want to travel to, will depend on the best way. Sometimes it's better to use public transportation, like in Europe, and sometimes it's better to rent a car, like we did on a little Caribbean island. It really just depends on where you go. Homework research is going to help you a lot with knowing which option will be best with where you're going. Activities. Google is a great way to find activities. Your Airbnb person is great to help you find activities. You can find a lot of free activities, festival activities, as well as some cheap tours that you're able to do as well. Souvenirs that you want to buy. We found that the best souvenir is actually the videos and pictures that we take. If you do like to bring back souvenirs, we also collect one thing from each place that we visit. We collect elephants, and so we find a little elephant figurine in each country that we visited, and that's what we bring back with us. So we're only bringing or buying one souvenir, and that saves us a lot of money. In conclusion, I hope that you have seen that traveling is not just for the retired. Traveling is not for those who have money and all this time to be able to spend. Traveling is for anyone and everyone who wants to travel. I am married. I have a job. My husband has a job. We both are students living on a student income, and we don't have all the time or money in the world, but we have found a way to be able to go to those places and travel the world like we wanted to. I've talked to you about how to, first the benefits of traveling, why you should travel, as well as how to save money or budget to be able to go on a trip, and how to save in each areas of your trip so that you're able to do it for a cheaper price. Traveling is easier now more than ever. So don't wait to go out and explore the world. Go experience it now. I hope you can take these tips and you can start planning your next vacation. Good luck.